Hey guys, how's everybody doing? I hope everybody's doing well. I'm a little under the weather. I wasn't planning on going live today, but you know, sometimes things happen, right? That just, I hope I've got that right. Anyway, sometimes things happen that make it necessary to do things that we weren't planning on. So I'm glad to be back with you, but I just, not going to promise that I won't be a coughing, sneezing mess because I'm on a lot of cough medicine and cold medicine in general. I don't know what's wrong with me. I've got a cold or the flu or something. I really don't know what it is, but I'm not feeling great. But it does feel better to be here. It feels like it's been forever, actually, but it hasn't really, but it feels like it. But I did take the weekend off. I spent some much needed time with my husband and we went and got garden plants that we still had to plant, and we got lunch. And I didn't eat chicken enchiladas. I actually sent a picture to my mod so they believe me. I actually had seafood uh, curry. My mind went blank on what I had. I was like, I had seafood something. It was seafood curry at this new Chinese restaurant that went in Stillwater, where Oklahoma State University is. And that's where we go most time if I say I went to town. It's generally gonna be that I went to Stillwater, unless I say I went to Tulsa or Oklahoma City or, wherever. But, yeah, so we did that, and Mark, bless his heart, he got everything planted when we got back, except for he forgot 4 things, 4 little vegetable plants that I don't know how he missed them. He said, "I don't know how I missed them either. They were right there in plain sight," but I wasn't in the house. I actually was already feeling bad and went to bed. And, anyway, he missed those 4, but he got them. He got them. He went back out and did it later, but, oh, bless his heart. He wasn't planning on me deciding to shop. He was there, looking for a few more tomato plants and I don't know, we got a couple more jalapeno plants. I can't talk, but, um, we so far, we've only found 1, um, eggplant. Boy, I'm glad I wrote down what I'm gonna talk about today because my brain is not working. But anyway, so we're gonna go Friday and get some more eggplants put out there with those, and then he bought another mulberry tree to put out with our other mulberry trees, and then I bought 2 pretty good size. Sorry, I need to remember to mute that mic, and then I don't have to worry about coughing so much. But anyway, I bought 2 pretty good size, hydrangeas, and they're already loaded with blooms, and so I'm hoping that they do well. I've bought littler ones in the past, and they've just not done so well, but these are about, I don't know, probably 3 foot tall, and they look like they're nice and thick and sturdy, so I'm hoping. Well, one was doing pretty good, and then my dad mowed it over. He he didn't see it, and he was mowing. He was trying to help. I mean, I'm not mad at him, y'all. He was really trying to help, but yeah, he mowed over that and a couple of my lilac bush. They were little, okay? So, yeah, I love hydrangeas too, Constance, and I bought 2. I don't know how you say it. I've heard it both ways, but, um, peonies or peonies, I bought 2 of those plants, and so he planted those all across the front of our house, and, the 4 of those, the 2 peonies and the 2 hydrangeas, and then we have a few other things that are planted there, but then I also what I do is I try to buy a few things that are annuals every year so that eventually my yard will be pretty, just, without me having to work so hard or without Mark having to work so hard, basically. But also, I usually buy a few things, that are annuals that just last that year, just for that pop of color, when other things might not be so much in season. And I fell in love with this tree and I could not make myself buy it, y'all. And I'm probably going to regret it forever. But I fell in love with this. I love spruce trees. I love them. I would have them everywhere. I just love them. Well, this is actually a blue spruce, but it was called a Fat Albert blue spruce, and I fell in love with it. The little things on it look almost more like a succulent than they do like a regular, you know, spruce or Christmas tree. So, uh, Anyway, but I wanted it, and I it was well over $100, and I was already, I don't have just an open budget to spend whatever, just whatever. I try to stay within. "Oh, you spent a week in Stillwater one night?" Joel, yeah, if it's been a while, it's a hopping little town now. It's gotten a whole lot bigger in the last, I'd say, 5 years. It has really grown. Um, yeah, we have 2 Walmarts and a Walmart grocery store now. And I mean, 2 Walmart supercenters, and we don't have a Target, damn it. I want a Target. If they would get a Target, I would never have to go to Tulsa unless it was a doctor's appointment. So, but anyway, yeah, so I wouldn't buy the tree that I wanted and Mark was like, "Get it if you want it." And I'm like, "No, I'm not gonna do it." I mean, I just couldn't make myself do it. But I did go home and I did some searching on line, and I found, 100 seeds for this, you know, Fat Albert blue spruce, and so, they say they're kinda hard to get going, but I thought, "Well, if I had 100 seeds, surely I could get something out of it, right?" So, we have a great big greenhouse, and my dad had it was kinda funny because I bought those seeds, and the same day, my dad's like, "So what you growing in the greenhouse?" And I said, Nothing." And he goes, you got this great big greenhouse, and I've never seen you grow anything in it." And I was like, "Well, we store things in there until we put it in the ground, but not really using it like we want to." But in my defense, y'all, I bought it, and within just weeks, literally just weeks, found out that I had cancer the last time. And so, I was planning a huge garden and had all these plans. I bought a bunch of, potting soil and all kinds of stuff and a bunch of little potters and, little pot plant things to put them in and everything in preparation that I was just going to do wonders, right? But I didn't because I got sick very quickly. So, but anyway, now, good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise, right? I'm hoping to be in good health for a while. And Veta is actually older now. So even if I do end up sicker, if this does I'm having a little bit of a health issue, and even if it does end up cancer again, um, then Veta's old enough and she loves to garden, so she would really get a kick out of that. And we're gonna try to really keep those seeds they'll be here in the next day or two anyway. Oh, 78. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mark was in college then, actually. Um, yeah, he would have been in college. It has grown a lot, Joel. You wouldn't even recognize it. Yeah, I used to hate going there. I really did. Even in the late '80s when I was going over there for college, I was just like, "This is, like, gross." It was little it was just, like, nothing to do, and, if you went to town, you wanted to have something to do, and it was just awful. So, anyway, yeah, you'd probably like it now. It's a nice town. It really is now. It's a nice little town. Too much damn road construction. There's always road construction, but yeah, it's a nice town now. So, as I mentioned, I guess I I haven't been real public with it. I did mention it the other day. Um, but anyway, I could use some prayers or some good thoughts. I really could. And I've been having a little bit of health problems, not bad. I mean, just I was kind of just blowing it all off really and just saying, "Oh, it's gotta be my Hashimoto's, it's gotta be this or that or whatever." Mostly, as embarrassing as it is, TMI, y'all, it mostly has to do with my bowels or that, area, your guts and lower, right? So, anyway, I was really just kind of blowing it off. I wasn't really thinking much about it. I just thought, well, because I mean, I have Crohn's, so I always, always, always have trouble. So, anyway, I went to the doctor the other day to my oncologist, which I had told y'all about, and she did blood work, and she said, "If you don't hear from us, everything is great." Well, I heard from them. When the phone rings and it says that, you're like, "Oh, shit," you know? So, anyway, she just said that my blood work came back a little bit wonky and that my anemia, which is always an issue with me, was really bad, and they are talking about maybe giving me a blood transfusion, but they're kind of, you know, trying to figure out what all's going on, and they wanna test again to see if it is worse within a few days. So, so anyway, I'm more anemic than normal, and I'm really low on iron, which, obviously I'm anemic, and some other stuff. I don't even understand what all those initials mean. I always have to look them up. And but anyway, so the gist of it is they are very concerned that I might have colorectal cancer. They are concerned that my breast cancer that's in remission, or has been anyway, may have returned and may have went to my colon or my rectum or both, or my liver. So I'm having some tests ran. I completed one over the weekend, and I've got to have a colonoscopy, and there's some more stuff plus a bunch more blood work, some more scans. There's just, you know, to ching. That's what they're saying, right? Money rolling in. So I'm not complaining. I'm not, this is not like a dry begging situation. I'm just saying, oh yeah, let's just run her through all these tests. Yeah. Yay. More money. Thank God we have insurance that pays a large portion of it. So anyway, past that. I I'm scared. I am scared, but I'm gonna stay busy. I'm gonna stay thank you guys. I see all the prayers and everything, and it's warming my heart. It really is. But I'm scared, but the way I'm gonna deal with it is to stay busy, and that means staying busy on here, so y'all are gonna see me a lot. So, it was probably a good thing that, I decided to go live today because it kept my mind busy where I didn't think about everything else. But anyway, I will let you know, it is possible that it is absolutely just my Crohn's acting up. On my last scan, there was a cloudy area down by my rectum, which is one of those words that you just don't think you're gonna be talking about, especially about yourself on the internet, but, hey, oh, well, we're all adults here, right? But so anyway, there was a cloudiness down there, and they were concerned about it, but they said it was not there before, that, I was having a little bit of trouble with my Crohn's at the moment, that it was probably that, and they were going to watch it. So, yeah. Absolutely. FTG to Crohn's and cancer. Heat my shorts. You read my mind, basically, and my heart. So anyway, it I'm gonna say that it's more, I don't know, it's possible. I want to say it's more than likely, but it's, in my brain, it's more than likely that it's nothing. And if it's something, then I have been pretty damn tough in the past. I've fought this for 14 years, and I'll fight it for 14 more and beyond. So if I have to. So anyway, sorry about that. I'm gonna check in with the chat for just a minute, and then I'm gonna get started. I don't think this is gonna be a long one. I just had a little bit to say. So Mischief Managed is here. Thank you so much, my dear, sweet best friend in the whole world. I may be leaning on her a lot in the coming days. Stacia Flonase, so good to see you, Joel. It is always, always good to see you. Thank you for being a member. Hef, I love you, girl. Thank you so much for being a mod. You're amazing. Um, I love you. Constance June, hello and thank you. Thank you, Mischief. She put Nova Haven's solicitous link in the chat. Y'all that don't know, Nova has agreed to become my mod. We had a little problem with another mod, and I had to actually let one go, which was Nicole. No hard feelings to her. I love her. It was just not a great fit. But anyway, I had a spot that I wanted to fill, and I kept thinking, who do I want to fill this with? And I thought, of course, you're a hero. Because I told Nova the other day, or Lisa is her real name. I told her that she's my hero, and if you don't know why, go watch the video that's I had last week that had her on it, and you'll know all about why she's my hero, and it kinda has a little bit to do with today too. So, Totally Jersey, good to see you. Stacia says, "A bit off on my day off and forgot where I was. Hi, Susie mods and chat. That's better." Oh, Mischief, thank you again. Yeah, she put Nova's and Maryland's link. Both of those links have, some things to do with what, we're gonna talk about today, and I wanted those links to be available to you all. Um, Plus, if you wanna go watch the one that I did last week, it all has to do with it. So, Marilee, hello. It's always good to see Marilee here. She is something else, y'all. She's like a I don't know, she's like the classy lady kinda thing. She reminds me of, like, old Hollywood, that kind of aura about her, you know? But let me tell you, she can be a spicy little booger too, and she's got a mind of her own, and she doesn't mind speaking it, and I love that. I really do. Lord Kiss Freak, it is always good to see you. I had such a good visit with you the other evening. It was nice. Thank you so much. I really did enjoy it, and I enjoyed watching you on Sammy's show this weekend. I sat through watched that one so I could watch you. You had a jabberbox on there, and you didn't get to talk a lot, and I like him too. I'm not, giving John any heat here, but he's a bit of a jabberbox. He don't need anybody else. He's a one-man show, isn't he? Uh, Sarah Bowman, good to see you. Terry Morgan, good to see you. I'm trying to skip the ones that I've already, acknowledged or whatever. I think I said yeah, I did. Okay. I was gonna say, if I repeat the same name 2 or 3 times and then I miss you, then it's not intentional. It's called, Vicks cold and flu. Heat my shorts says, "Hey," or "Hi, Susie. Hold on. And everyone, I'm just on my way out the door for a walk with my Maggie dog. Aw. Ugh. I'll pop back in when we return, sending love and support." My little dog's name is Mags. Her name is actually Magnolia Grace Thurman Oberholtz, but I call her Mags because Magnolia Grace Thurman Oberholtz is a lot, right? But she's a lot, so it's fitting. Barbie Mo4, good to see you. Okay. I love when y'all talk to each other. I really do. I don't know why. I really do. I like it that we're a community, that we communicate with each other and it's not just, me 'cause Violet, good to see you. Thank you for being a member. Healing Through Song with John, good to see you, and thank you for being a s a mod. I always wanna say a sub, but it's a mod. Good to see you, all of you. Marilyn, good to see you. She's gonna see what I'm gonna have to say because she knows I just tend to get spicy. Bodie's Beaches. I think we're almost down to the end, I think. SBTV Never Ends and Artology Kelly, good to see you too. Goodness, we've got quite the little group. Okay, I think I'm about there. Darcy's, good to see you. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'll put my email up on the screen in just a minute. And yes, please do email me. I would love to hear from you. Jenna from Cali. Aw, finally alive. I watch you now all of the time. Thank you. I'm so glad. Crumel, good to see you too. Mysterious Mayo, good to see you. That's a name I don't recognize, but it's good to see you. Hope you join us often. You could have been a lurker and or I've missed you. Ugh, it happens. Okay. I think we are I think we have found sort of anyway, the bottom. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get started, and I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I did write down what I wanna say, and so I have to refer back to it just for the fact that my, cold medicine is making it where I can't think straight. Of course, I also wrote these notes whenever I was taking my cold medicine that makes me not think straight, so that might be a trip, huh? Okay. So, I was thinking about this, and it's like yesterday, those of us that were Christ or that are Christians were celebrating the resurrection of Christ, and today, here we are fighting against the resurrection or some similar sounding word of a convicted pedophile, David Christopher Litton, aka Echoplex Media. When I got word from Maryland earlier today, this morning actually, um, I was like, seriously, I'm not joking, y'all. I was laying in my bed. I was snugged up in my bed with my pajamas and my puppy and just, resting and spaced out on cold medicine and just trying to work through whatever this crud is that has rained down on our whole family. I think Mark's the only one that's not sick. Seriously. And I hope he stays that way. I mean, he's not like a bad sick person. He's really good. He's not like the stereotypical, not too bad anyway, sometimes a little bit, but not too bad. But yeah, he's the only one of us that's not sick. But so I hope he stays healthy. But this is important, y'all. And yes, that disgusting, hateful little man is back. Why? I don't know. I really don't know. But I told Mark about it and I said, well, I don't know why he's back, but I would bet my little Google check and more that it's not for good because that I don't know of him ever doing anything for good, you know? Um, ever. I don't know. If he did, good on him, but he's sure done a lot of bad stuff. So I don't know. I do want to do an actual show on this, like a little subtopic of this one, but I guess I mean I had heard out there, you know, but not really paid all that much attention to it because I kind of thought it was one of how they'll say things, people will say stuff and but it just doesn't seem to like, grow legs. It doesn't really like get a foundation, right? And so it's just kind of like somebody starts trying to start a trend or something, but it doesn't really do well, so it just kind of goes away. And I'm hoping that this is one of those things. And yes, I'm still talking about Dave Litton. It circles around, y'all. It circles around. But anyway, in a I think it's an attempt to destigmatize the perverted image of the, PDF files, that there's a new term that they're using for them. And, the royal we are supposedly calling them maps now. And maps is supposed to stand for minor attracted people. Well, that's not gonna fly with me. Just so you know, I don't think that a map is gonna fly. I mean, it's gross. It just is gross. And to quote a song that I don't even like, y'all, try that in a small town. Try that in a small town and see what happens. And I'm gonna say I don't like the song. I don't like it. I don't like the video, and that's a whole other story. But anyway, so I know that small towns also have perverted people in them. I know that. But my point is that it's harder to hide in a small town, okay? Your perversion is gonna stick out like a sore thumb. So it's harder for you to hide, and all of your whether it be perversions or homophobia or racism, all that kinda stuff, it sticks out, it shines in a small town because, there's not as many people casting a shadow over you. People's gonna find out what you really are. And so, now, of course, some of them are just as bad, but I'm just saying. So, what I'm gonna propose is that we turn YouTube into a small town, y'all. I think in a way it kind of is, right? We're a community, we're not huge, especially this community. Maybe I'm not talking about YouTube, as a whole, as the giant, whatever that it is, but our community can act very much like a small town and we can police ourselves and we can, yes, Carrie, and hello, by the way, and Angie, um, and Julia. Man, a lot of y'all just came in. I think that it's disgusting. I think calling them anything other than a pedophile or, a pervert is just like trying to gloss over it, and I don't like that. I mean, I don't like it. And what gets me is like, I was thinking about it too, and I'm gonna not probably say this right, but bear with me a little bit. You know, when I say even in prison, I don't mean like even in prison. I mean like y'all. Let's be reasonable. The people in prison have broken the law, a lot of them. They are some not the most morally upstanding people at the time. I absolutely 100% believe in somebody, most people, maybe not pedophiles, but a lot of people being able to rehabilitate themselves, or they get off drugs, and thus the reason that they did the things that they did is no longer an issue. And I truly believe that a lot of people that come out of prison are good people. I've got friends, and not just on YouTube. I have friends and family that have come out of prison, and they are wonderful, wonderful, wonderful people. But even in prison, that's my point. The chomos, as we would say, are bottom of the barrel, and they don't just get ignored. It's not like an honor crime or, a no a victimless crime or anything like that. Child molesters, or, rapists in general are the bottom of the barrel, the child molesters being the very bottom from everything I've heard. And so, if a prison, okay, if a prison can police themselves, okay, and not let child molesters have cute little names like Maps or whatever, then so can we. And so that's my very longly stated opinion on that. I don't know. But anyway, I just think that we need to become a small town and that we need to police ourselves. We need to do what we need to do to draw attention when we know that these people are there. And I'm not talking about, just anybody that we hear a rumor about. I'm talking about these, like David Litton and Brett Miller are convicted. They are convicted, even admitted, like they pled guilty kind of thing. So there's no what if with them. So I just think that we need to run them out of town, basically. And I'm not like that. I don't want to run everybody that I don't care for out of our little town, but there's no room for these people. And I mean, I'm sorry, but if you support them, are you any better? How am I like supposed to I couldn't, like, if I knew that my child's teacher supported, you know, David Litton or Brett Miller or somebody like that, I wouldn't want them to be my child's teacher. I wouldn't. And I think that we need to really just And, some people say, "Well, that just drives everybody underground," and yeah, it does, maybe, but I don't know. I don't care. So, I was looking, and as of today, this Echoplex Media has 921 people still subscribed to him. Now, I'm gonna be checking that every single day, and if that number goes up, I think I'm gonna just lose all hope for humanity, but I'm gonna really be hoping that it goes down because I can't imagine that 921 people actually support that man. I mean, first of all, I've never seen him do anything that was in the least entertaining or anything, that warranted even having a channel. He's just disgusting. I mean, he's just nothing but a big bully, and I don't like him. And what we need to really understand is that he himself says that he spends 5 to 6 nights on, X and Twitch and these other, uh, social media networks, and his, fan base of all things, whatever, are children and, minors, which can mean, anyone below 18, but, like Mrs. J, another disgusting piece of shit in my book. Um, she says, well, his victim or it was a fake victim because it was a police officer that tricked him. But anyway, the intended victim was 16. So that's not a child, that's a minor. Well, Mrs. J, maybe in your warped little mind, but I believe that anybody with any brains and decency, y'all, I mean, seriously, my cold medicine might have completely eaten my whatever filter because I don't have any like respect or anything for people like Mrs. J and the 921 people that still support this pedophile. I just don't. I think you're just as disgusting as they are, maybe even worse, because this, pedophile is a sick person. They are sick people, and it can be men or women. I'm not picking on men, but the two that we're talking about happen to be men or, male. But I would wonder about people like Mrs. J that make so many allowances for these. And if she's not something horrible like that herself, the fact that she supports them makes her worse because she's not, sick. So, well, maybe. You know what I mean? So, anyway, I believe that it is our responsibility to call these convicted child essayers out. I don't mean like go out on the street like some kind of crazy mob, sorry, accusing people. But David Litton and Brett Miller are convicted and they show no remorse and no redemption. And in Brett Miller's case, he continues to lie and even blame the victim. So they don't get any grace in my book. They don't get any grace. And I think that we need to really start watching for this in our community and in other communities. And we need to call it out. And so you're probably going to hear me call it out any chance I get because, I mean, it's just disgusting. These are our kids. These are, our future. The children are our future kind of deal. And we've got to protect them. That's what our job is. We have to protect these kids. I don't know. Litton, he tries to say that it was like a one-off time that he just like made a stupid mistake and he got caught and I did my time and it should be forgiven and forgotten. My parole officers were my best friends. They just, we got along so good and they were my, biggest supporters. All of that is lies. It is absolute lies, and we know it. So, it was not a one-off, and and I don't mean this bad either, but he wasn't just, being a predator towards 16-year-old boys, okay? Not that that matters, but, bear with me. We don't know who all he was messing with. We don't know who all he messed with before he messed with this police officer that was disguised a as a young, teenager. But we do know that our very own Nova Haven disguised herself as a 16-year-old girl, and he immediately sent her dick pics. So we know of at least 2, and there had to have been some reason for the police officer to look into it. So, you know, I'm gonna say that there's a lot of victims out there. We just don't know, and we may run across more. We completely accidentally found Nova. I mean, she found us. I mean, can you imagine being her and you're watching a show and they're talking about this and you're like, "Man, that sounds a lot like what happened to me." And then boom. Oh my god, that is what happened to me. That is the guy. And so the more we put these names out there and these faces out there and everything, then the more people that might come forward and be absolutely just relieved, y'all, to know that they're not the only one, that they didn't imagine it, that they didn't, see more into it than what it was. Because that's what they like to act like, right? These predators, they like to act like, "Oh, it wasn't that big a deal." Tommy Brett with all his statutory bullshit, it was not statutory. I have the papers. Statutory is not on those papers. Violent sexual assault is on those papers. Violent sexual assault is not the same as statutory. And we need to start knowing what this shit is, and we need to start calling out the people that are doing this. And by the way, y'all, nobody really wants you to send them unsolicited pee stick pictures. We just don't. I can't speak for what the men want. I don't think they want it either. But or any unsolicited, pictures. I mean, they might, I don't know, but the vast majority of women or young girls do not want unsolicited pictures of your pee stick. They just don't. It's just don't. If they want them, they're gonna ask you for them. They're gonna be like, "Hey," you know? So, anyway, uh, but I'm not even gonna lie, y'all. What bothers me almost as much, I mean, it's a different way, but what bothers me almost as much as Litton and Miller are the 921 people that still sub to Litton and the 25,000 people, give or take a few, probably bought subs, bought and paid for subs on Brett Miller's part because there's just an awful lot of people talking about how he's got an awful lot of subs and got them all at once, but his views are really down. But still, yet he's got too many. He's got too many viewers and supporters, and every once in a while I pop into his just to see if some of the ones are still over there, and they are, and it just makes me ill. Same with Reese, but at least she's not a pedophile that we know of, right? I don't think she is. She's just I won't even go into it. But anyway, I did look a little bit up today, and according to Washington State Institute for Public Policy, and I wrote this down because I do not want to get it wrong. Recidivism, yeah, rates for any kind of sexual offender are high. They're higher than almost any other kind of crime, whether it be, robbery or unaliving someone or whatever. Um, Sexual offenses are they're more likely to reoffend. But um, there are mitigating circumstances that add to that rate. And hold on, sorry. Anyway, so sex offenders, this is the mitigating. Anyway, sex offenders who have a criminal history of sexual offense often reoffend. Okay. So that's already like a strike against them. If they've done it once, they are very likely to do it again. In fact, if they are a sexual offender and they have any kind of a criminal record, it raises the rate in which they reoffend the sexual um, offenses. They're not nearly as likely to reoffend on the other things that they may have been convicted of. Okay, so child sex offenders often reoffend years after the initial offense. And it said clearly that for child sex offenders, it is a deviant, lifelong problem. Okay. But the recidivism, I can't talk, rate doesn't tell the whole story because recidivism only counts offenders who are arrested, prosecuted, and sent back to jail. That doesn't allow for the ones that are never turned in. So these statistics that we have on that, the problem with them are we only have like really good statistics for it on people that reoffend, get arrested, get convicted, and go back to jail. So they were very clear that when we're looking into the rate with what they reoffend, that we need to understand that it's higher than the statistics because a great number of them go unreported. So, okay, according to the Washington State Institute for Public Policy, the recidivism rate, remember, this isn't the reoffending rate, this is the ones that get caught and go back to jail. Okay, for exhibitionists, which would include those unsolicited pee sticks pictures, people. So, y'all, okay. The recidivism of those offenders, like exhibitionists, voyeurs, peeping toms, people exposing themselves, that kind of thing, is 41 to 71%. And they're saying that it's probably way higher. It just doesn't get reported. And yeah, that's just the ones that go back to prison. Okay, so child SA offenders who target males have a recidivism rate of 13% to 40%. Again, that's only the ones that end up back in prison for it. But that's still too damn high, right? Recidivism rates for child SA offenders against females and those that are that recidivism for grape are 10% to 35%. And the incest recidivism rates are 4 to 10%. They said that that's mostly because, the pool of victims is smaller if they are inclined to be somebody that commits incest. There's only so many family members and only so many family members that are, you know, that they're able to victimize, basically. But they kept repeating often that the reoffending percentages are clearly much higher than these numbers because most reoffenses do not even get um they don't even get reported. So that's really scary to me that you know, so many don't get reported and so we don't really have a clear number. And they kept also reiterating that reoffenders often reoffend many years later, that they can go 15, 20, 30 years and not reoffend, and then they will. So, uh, which made me think that, the people like a child essay apologizer, Mrs. J, who says, "Oh, it was years ago. Get over it." Shame on you, lady. Shame on you. If you're gonna make some kind of statement like that, at least look into it and find out that, you know what, if that little piece of shit didn't offend anybody, if he didn't, assault anybody since he got out of jail, which the likelihood is nearly 0. But even if he didn't, he is a walking, talking, social media using time bomb. And our children deserve better than for us to just go, "That was a long time ago." Or, "Well, that person, was 16. That's not a child. That's a minor." No, no. And bitch, if you believe that, I feel damn sorry for anyone in your family that might think that you might protect them if they needed it. Because clearly you wouldn't. And I think you need to ask yourself why. Mm, I just I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm just so upset over this whole thing. And I just am like, the people that sit out there and apologize for these assholes or, feel sorry for them or continue to support them, you're sick. You're just as sick. That 921 or 25,000 or whatever, they're sick. It makes me ill. And the women, I don't kn and I don't mean that like that men don't have the same moral upstanding. I know you do. I know you do, and I don't mean this. I don't mean that at all. But the women that just brush sexual assault of other women or of children under the just under the rug like it's nothing, y'all are pieces of shit too. And I have absolutely 0 respect for you. And you know who all you are. All you women that are on the lifeboat, the lie boat, and just continue to just kiss his ass. I'm trying to remain a little bit ladylike. Y'all are sick. And I pray to God for all the kids in your life, or all the women in your life that would ever need you to protect them. What if that was your child, or your sister, or you, or your brother, or your son, you know? And that's really about all I got to say about it. Marilyn did an amazing video as usual about it today. I suggest y'all go watch it. Watch her others where she's talked about both of these creeps. Um, please don't go watch this Echoplex Media. Don't even give him hate views. I clicked on there once today, looked at the amount of subscribers he's got, and clicked off. I saw that he didn't have any. He hadn't added his videos back. He doesn't have any content, but that was it. I was on there less than probably 15, 20 seconds. I don't give Brett Miller hate views. I just don't. I don't agree with it. I just, if you do and you've got your reasons for that, that's one thing. I'm not going to say you're wrong, but please, y'all, don't support these people. Support the good people. We got some good people over here. And that Echoplex Media asshole, he's done nothing but just stir up trouble and say vile, mean shit about good people. I mean, you don't have to like people. If he doesn't like Marilyn, that's fine. I don't care. I mean, it's not my problem. If he doesn't like Aaron, not my problem. He didn't like me either. He said a few things about me, but I don't care. I don't like him either. I've said a whole lot of things about him, and I could probably really have fun saying what I want to say if I didn't try to, not get completely demonetized. If this video gets demonetized, I don't care, but I don't want to get my entire channel demonetized. But yeah, he's I don't know. They are both just vile. They are sick. Ugh, nasty. The fact that Brett Miller actually is going around saying that women will lie about assault for money makes me ill. Is it true? Sometimes, but men lie too, and coming from an actual pedophile and an actual admitted still practicing con man, he needs to shut the fuck up, is what I think personally. He needs to shut the fuck up. He needs to go the hell away. If that $45,000 that you got from AI will support you for the rest of your life, then tootle your ass off over there, Toots. Tootle your ass off and go somewhere where we don't have to look at your nasty mug, where I don't have to, wonder if somebody I know is going to get taken advantage by you because you're freaking everywhere. In Echoplex Media, he wanted to, I don't know, y'all. Aaron's a big boy and he can defend himself and he don't really even care. He just thinks the guy's a piece of shit from what I've heard. And but he's constantly talking about Aaron. Well, Aaron's not a child molester. Aaron's not a rapist. He is not any of the things that you are. And he actually is a successful YouTuber. And this dude's been on YouTube for like 9 years and he's got 921 subs. I mean, which that gives me hope. That gives me hope for humanity because there's only 921 people that have anything to do with him, right? But I'm worried about the ones over on the other social medias that do, and I'm worried about the ones that are children. That's who I'm worried about because these kids, they go on there, they're just trying to play games, and they got this pervert fucking old cellar dweller just waiting to strike, right? Just it makes me sick. So anyway, that's what I got to say about that one. And I'm sorry if it didn't make any sense because I mean, my head is not in the game today. My heart's in it, but my head's not. And I'm gonna go up here and see if I can kind of figure out where I was at. Yeah, well, this is real close. So, aw, Heat My Short says that's such a sweet dog name, Susie. I love that. Oh, my little Magnolia Grace Thurman Oberholtz. Well, Thurman is my maiden name, and Oberholtz is my married name. Thurman Oberholtz is actually my legal name. It's what I sign all my stuff, um, taxes and that kind of thing. Not everything, but, legal papers. So, yeah, here we go. Let's see here. Joel says, "Yep, Marilee is old Hollywood. I am old junk." You both are 2 of my favorite people, so you just quit it. Oh, lots of people saying hi. Some of y'all I've already said hi to, so I'm trying to not repeat myself. Yes, heat my shorts. Don't forget to hit the like buttons. And you can hit that subscribe too. It's free. Oh no, Lord Kiss Freak says, "I got some bad news too this morning. My friend is in the hospital. He had a stroke a few days ago and had to have surgery in his neck for it." Oh, I'm so sorry. That is scary. My prayers to your friend, honestly. If y'all are prayers, please pray for Lord Kiss Freak's friend. If not, if you've got some good thoughts and vibes and all that, we'll take it. Jenna from Cali says, "Oh my God. Hi, guys. I can't keep up with the welcomes." This is a very welcoming lot. You will like it here. They are very friendly, caring, so supportive. See, right here, we got John, which is Hockeytown John, by the way. He says, "I'm sorry, Chris." You see people, yeah, heat my shorts. "I'm sorry about your friend." Constance June, "I'm sorry to hear that." See, yeah, Barbie M, sorry, positive thoughts and prayers. See, it's just love. This is why I say I have the best group. Yeah, such a friendly group. Yeah, you don't need to pay $50 for a hello. I don't always get to everybody, but I'm gonna say about 95% of the time I get to everybody. Now, every once in a while, there's a big topic and there'll be, you know, 5, 600 people in the chat and I don't get to everybody. And I always feel bad or I get so mad or upset or whatever that I just can't go anymore. But that doesn't happen very often, but I try. I really do try. And I try to remember names that I see come in, but I don't always. Mischief. She says, "Jenna, you absolutely don't. Here it's $75 payable to Mischief Managed." She's a problem. Yeah. I might should have warned Nova before I made her a mod that, our mods are a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, that was funny. Oh, yeah. Angie Wilson was watching the closing arguments on the Daybell trial. I need to go back and finish watching some of that. That woman. Yeah. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah. Carrie, I agree. Maps, that's disgusting. It is. It is disgusting. Aw, Jenna, thank you. She's very glad that I'm calling this out. Oh, I tend to do that. Mm. Oddball Overview. I don't remember that name either, but it's a cool name. Thank you for being here. Says Maps will never become an acceptable term. I'm sorry, but we have much better names for such unacceptable behavior. It's just sickening. I agree. Yeah, how do you let that near your child? Yeah. Angie has to watch from the beginning. Yeah. Maps is a disgusting term. I agree, Julia, I do. Children cannot consent. MAPS, what's it stand for? Minor attracted persons. So in other words, instead of calling them, child molesters or pedophiles, they wanna be called MAPS. That they're trying to make it normal that some people are attracted to minors. Yeah. Mischief. We all went potty with her. That was a little more than we needed to know. Angie says, "Unfortunately, I've had far too many of those in my life, but due to being able to see the signs, I've protected my children from the same fate. Thank God. Thank God." Marilyn says, "Maps is twisted wokeism for only the most fringe extremists and sickos. No wonder they align with Scientology." Absolutely. And I tend to, as you know, because I'm the dreaded Democrat in the group, I tend to sometimes, I don't have a problem with ugh, some wokeisms, but others I definitely do. And that's definitely one of them. That is definitely That's why I say I'm too conservative for my liberal friends and too liberal for my conservative friends, so but I agree with you, Marilyn, I do. Yes, Jenna, we should all report him, but I don't know, I think it happened before, and I don't see that it did any good, but we can, try again. Yes, oddball overuse. 16 is still a child. I'm from the UK, and that's the age of consent, but all normal people know that it's still a child. Well, there you go. Mrs. J is not normal. Not normal. And we're in the US and we don't consider it okay. Joel says, I've met a lot of people in my life from all backgrounds. I don't really know much about anything, but I'm sure of this. Most perverts don't change. They hide it better, but they don't change. Beware. Absolutely. Yeah. Angie says that her youngest is 15 and she'll be 16 in August, and she's still a baby as far as she's concerned. I agree. Of course, mine, are close to 40, and they're still my babies. Oh, thank you, Jenna. You have a source in Twitch that I have sent a red flag. Good. Thank you. Goodness. Marilyn says true clear media and miserable old troll woman also said that pedophiles is not a pedophile, but she spends all her time coming after Aaron and friends who have no record. Absolutely. It makes me sick. And I'm sorry. He is a pedophile. He is a convicted pedophile. And we know it because our very own Nova posed as a 16-year-old girl, right? And what was one of the first things she got from him? Dick pics. And he was not a child. I hear it, I don't agree with it, but I hear, like, some of the defense of Brett because he, at the time, was young. But to me, the offense that he did was, child essay because of the girl's age. But regardless, it was grape, okay? Because it was, forcible, violent assault, sexual assault. He forcibly, violently assaulted her. So, I'm like, don't come at me with these, little explanations of stuff. No. These are people that have been convicted. So, that little troll, Clue True Media, can kiss my fat ass. There's plenty of room back here, y'all. The old people I don't like that I tell them they can kiss my ass, there's room. I can limp on some more. I'll just, like, stand over in the corner and just there you go. Mm. Yeah, yeah. Maryland, they're just yeah. We also know that the police officer took over for a civilian. Exactly. So we know that there was the person that went to the police, the person that he was trying to hook up with, and we know about Nova. And if there's 3, y'all, I guarantee you there's probably 30 or 300. Ugh. Angie says, "Yes, call it out, Susie." I love that you just call a spade an effing spade. You can put lipstick on a pig. Mhm. You could put Sephora lip stain on a pig, y'all. It's what I wear. But if I was a pig, I would still be a pig. Yeah, we can get very active. Yeah. Oh, Lord kiss freak, if you put lipstick on a pig, you get Reese. I won't say I didn't think it, but I didn't say it yet. Yeah, she did. She put her child in danger. Yeah, Mrs. J just makes me sick. Hello, Goot. Yeah, Goot Juice Hot Sauce. It's so good to see you. I'm always, yeah, happy Mud Flops Marissa Monday. Yeah, tomorrow's Toots Tuesday. We got days for everything, right? We got names for every day. I'm a proud member of FTG, y'all. I have 2 shirts, damn it, 2. Yeah. Okay, I'm trying to go down through here. Mm. Ooh, y'all getting some rain and hail. We got Saturday and Sunday, we had pouring down rain. My dogs would not sleep. I mean, the wind was blowing, the rain was hitting the house so hard, hitting those windows, and, it'd be on the south end of our house on our bedroom windows. I thought it was gonna break them. It was terrible. Okay. Mischief Man has posted a couple of links to where you can, report him. Thank you, Mischief. She is on top of stuff. Jenna says, "I was in an enthusiastic sobriety cult, and he was 33 and a cool counselor." Mm. Gates got a 3-minute toot stay video scheduled to go public at 3 a.m. Eastern. I might be up, because I sleep all day and then I can't sleep at night, or I wake up and have to pee and then it takes me 30 minutes to go back to sleep. So I might be watching at 3 a.m. Well, in Eastern, so it'll be 2 a.m. here. I probably will be awake actually. Angie early voted this morning, so feeling extra patriotic. Cool. I'm trying to get down through here and make sure I don't miss anybody. Okay. Oh, Doug's in here somewhere. I've missed you, but I see people are talking to you. It's good to see you. Haven't seen you for a little bit. Nova's here. Everybody welcome Nova if you haven't already. She's our newest mod, my hero. Aw. Yeah. Are we allowed to swear? Yeah, usually in the chat, if you will purposely misspell the words, then that keeps YouTube off my butt, but uh, yeah, YouTube will. Sometimes they'll block it, sometimes they don't, but I agree, heat my shorts. Brett will clearly never change, never change. Yeah, just to put himself in a 15-year-old's house and, when you're living with a 15-year-old, then you're also in contact with others in that range of age, but he has 0 accountability for it. I don't even think that he believes he has lied so much about it that I don't think that Brett even believes. He's convinced himself. He's such a con man, he's conned himself. Yeah. No, but she says, "I believe he's a sociopath." I'm not using that term lightly. I'm very serious in saying that. I agree. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he needs to be demonetized. Tiff 420, good to see you. Yeah, I agree, Sarah. Brett and Echoplex, they both they need to be demonetized and deplatformed. Yeah, we need to report them to YouTube. Absolutely. Yeah, Aaron and he are not even in the same class. Yeah, even if you don't like Aaron, because I mean, I understand. I mean, he can be kind of hard to like sometimes, but he's not a criminal. He's not a child SA. He doesn't have a criminal record. Can you imagine? I was thinking about this earlier. I'm laying there on my bed. I'm like, oh, and I'm thinking about at the Danny Masterson trial when Brett and Alan, which I love Alan, um, when they went to that trial, and so Brett was buddying up to Aaron, and because of that, he was also in um, communication with, and they went to eat and stuff with the Jane Does. Can you imagine how they feel now that they were sitting there with a convicted sex offender and that they were talking to him and he was acting like that they were all friends, and I mean even recently he was acting like they were friends. But now women will lie for money. Hmm. Did y'all hear that Reese took down the Tommy Scoville, the long con video? I'm not sure why, but she took that down. Hey, Tiff. Thanks for becoming a member. We're snarky. Yeah, you think? We can be a little snarky. Hey, Eric. Good to see you. Dusty. Good to see you. Yeah. I love Dusty. He's a sweetie. James Collin cares. Good to see you, James Collins cares. Tiff, you can get those on Amazon and they're not very expensive and they have all kinds of colors. I think I'm just gonna have to just keep getting them. I don't know. I feel kind of empowered when I wear it. It's like, yeah, fuck that guy. Of course, now I will say, Veta, she's like, Grandma, what does that mean? I said, it means forget that guy. Yeah, Marilyn ordered a purple V-neck shirt. Good. Awakened by the Looking Glass. Good to see you. That's what she said. Good to see you. Man, some people have come in towards the end of it. Yeah, Eric Levitz. Yeah, Jenna says, wait, what? Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. My brain is not working. I'm really not working today. Wakened by the Looking Glass. It's always good to see you too. Yeah, too bad for Reese. I agree, Marilyn. The internet is forever. I don't really think that she understands that. And why? That's what I would like to know. What's the reasoning for taking it down now? I mean, before, of course, you never can trust what she says because she'll say it, but then she'll change her mind tomorrow, say the opposite. But I clearly remember, and I will say this, I didn't watch, well, I did watch part of it, but I did get some of the information off of the little AI how AI will, they can go in and it'll do like a whole, like this is what happened on a show. And anyway, the AI thing on Reddit said that Reese said, so, here we go. We're going with somebody that changes their deal all the time, and are we going to trust the AI? But they had been very, very correct with things that I had seen. So anyway, it said that Reese was saying that she was advised to leave it up. And when she was the way she was saying it was that like her lawyer or law enforcement or something like that had advised her. Now, she didn't say that. She said she was advised. Now, she may have said it, I don't know. I don't watch. She likes to think we do, but I really don't unless somebody sends me a timestamp and I go watch that minute or 2 minutes or whatever. And I am proud of myself. I have not been reading Reddit lately. Um, but what I did see on there, how, the AI thing would redo her videos, from what I did see, they were correct. So I think that she was saying that she was told to leave that up. Yeah, Doug says Reese took it down because she's still talking to Tommy and most likely still has feelings. She even sang some songs to him last week. Yeah, that whole I will always love you thing. I looked for it because I was even given a timestamp. I went to the timestamp and it was gone. So I'm wondering if it got, like if she got embarrassed and took that part down, edited it out, or if she got um, a strike on it for singing a song she wasn't supposed to sing. So anyway, but yeah, that's what a lot of people think, Doug, is that it's because, I mean, Knife Hoarder says that they're going to get back together in April. They're going to have to hurry up, but yeah, she already got the money off of it, didn't she? Angie says, I almost hope they do get back together. Then the nastiness would be so much more obvious for everyone to see. Yeah. $700 in one video. That's what I heard she made the other day in super chats. She's made more than that in a video before, but that's what I heard she made in one the other day. And I don't know. Yeah, that's what she's saying. She's saying, I will always love you. She's saying some other things too, a little bit of this and a little bit of that. But I was told, now again, I didn't see it, but I was told by about 3 people that she's saying, I will always love you, and dedicated it to Tommy. Oh, yeah. Reese also said that Tommy likes some glasses that she just bought. Yeah. Yeah. Keep my short 700 in super chats in one video. Can you even imagine? I, well, I got close to that. I mean, not really, but I got several $100s in super chats last week, but they were just supposed to go to Mischief. So it wasn't that, that I got them. It was a fundraiser, y'all. Yeah. Yeah, I don't watch her either, Sarah. I just can't. There's a point when you even just quit hate watching, and like I said, I have watched. I make no apologies for it. I have been sent very interesting stamps, and I have went and looked at those, but not not anything too exciting. But yeah, well, I think that yeah, Lord Kiss Freak, if she got 700, that means they sent 1,000. I think it was I think it was 700, and so she got 30% less than that, but still, the girl makes $100,000 in a year in super chats alone, and views are what, usually make your money. So, yeah, she getting rich over there compared to me. I did get my check today, y'all. I made a little bit over $500. 530 something dollars, I believe. Or was it might have been $583. It was 538 or 583. It's less than $600, but I was impressed. So, you know, not likely to happen next month. So, anyway. Mhm. Yeah, she said that yeah, Jenna, she said that she hates it when that we hate it when she gets super chats, so her stream just went crazy giving her super chats. Yeah. So, yeah, we just must ignore her. But anyway, y'all, I'm gonna go. I have some more shows planned for this week. So, anyway, I'm gonna be working on those and trying to get over this and doing whatever tests that they come back with, and I will let you know. I know that you all are good about praying and having good thoughts for me and everything, and I appreciate that. If you missed any of it, go back and watch from the beginning, and also go watch um, the video that I did last week with Nova, and go watch um, Marilyn's videos about Echoplex. Yeah, Godspeed to you too, or Marilyn. Thank you. She said Godspeed, Susie. Thank you. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go lay down and go to sleep. Is what Susie's gonna do. I am about to fall asleep in my chair. So I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. I love you all. Bye.